Beth Israel is not just the present general Jewish public that exists at a particular time in history. Beth Israel is also, Kalal Israel, Beth Israel is also, and specifically, a spiritual, philosophical concept. It is a spiritual entity in and of its own right. שנאמר על שלושה פשעי ישראל ועל ארבעה לא אשיבנו. So here we see that the weighing up is done differently. The Thibur is always above the Yahid. Here we're discussing the assessment that both the individual and Beth Israel, Klal Yisrael, the way they are assessed on Rosh Hashanah until Yom Kippurim, and in general. And as we have said before, in other contexts, regarding, for example, hostage deals and such discussions and considerations, the individual must be considered secondary in importance to Klal Yisrael. That is also common sense, and it is also a very fundamental and essential Torah concept. And this is a concept that when you think about it, can only have real meaning and significance in Am Yisrael, within the Jewish people. In other words, if you were to ask a Frenchman today, well, let's first talk about today. If you were to ask them, are you willing to fight for France, the French nation? Some may say yes, others may say no, but many would say nowadays, no, I'm not willing, because I don't consider that to be worth endangering my life for. This discussion, by the way, is taking place right now in the UK, for example. In the UK, because of the very unsatisfactory state of their armed forces, they have something apparently like 50,000 people in uniform, something along those lines, which is difficult to believe when you think that a little over 100 years ago we were talking about the most powerful empire on the planet. So there is discussion of perhaps reintroducing the draft, the military draft, and a lot of people in the UK are saying, you can make all the laws you like, even if you choose to do that. They haven't done that yet. But at least the Britain that I see today, I'm not willing to fight for. Which, if you were to find yourself in Britain, then you would understand, because the country is truly coming apart at the seams for all kinds of reasons, many of which have to do with mass immigration and population replacement. At any rate, the point is that in order to be willing to fight for your nation, you have to understand why your nation is worth fighting for, and why your position and the importance of your own existence is subordinate to that greater good, or that larger concept and reality. And it is increasingly difficult, extremely difficult for most young people in the Western world today to explain to themselves why they would possibly consider their country, their nation, to be more important than themselves. Am Yisrael is the only nation that has can truly answer that question to itself. In other words, a Jew can provide himself with the answer to that large question mark. Why am I willing? Why should I be willing? And therefore, why am I required to act in a certain way and to do certain things for the Jewish nation? Because the Jewish nation, which is again supra-historical concept, and is an eternal concept, not specific to any generation of Jews in the world at a specific time. That is the most sublime and the most meaningful and significant reality that exists in this world. And when one understands that, then one can begin to discuss questions such as why should a Jew lay his life down or endanger himself for his people, or why is it incorrect and misguided and very, very harmful to the Jewish nation to allow themselves to be blackmailed and to water down their war effort in order to receive certain individual Jews in return for some concession or something along those lines. That is all that mode of thinking, that everything is about saving this or that individual Jew, is correct only when viewing reality and when existing in a reality of galuth. When we're not talking about Klal Israel, we're not talking about a nation, we're talking about a collection of individuals. And also it refers to a situation where the Jewish people do not have perhaps the wherewithal, they do not have the capability of fighting their enemies or behaving in a different fashion. Applying the galuth reality to the normative reality of a Jewish nation is one of the greatest perversions that we can possibly conceive of when running the Jewish people's affairs.